What a nice Christmas time snowstorm that we are getting out there across areas of the Mid-Atlantic tonight. I don't know how you can not be a fan of this. I mean, it's Christmas time. It's dark now. Everybody's got their Christmas decorations up, and it's snowing on these Christmas lights. That's just my kind of vibe. That's something that I've always dreamed of, is getting a rare December snowstorm here in my neck of the woods in central South Carolina. But we live in the armpit of hell. It barely snows even in the heart of winter, let alone early December. But I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's been a joy trying to figure this out with you folks, and I'm glad it's verifying for most areas. I'm sure there's some disappointed people out there, but for some areas, this is overachieving. So we'll speak on this very quickly in the beginning of the video, then we'll move past it. We got a winter storm to figure out across the plains, stretching to the Midwest, the Great Lakes region, the Ohio Valley, and then into New England over the next 48 hours. And we got a lot of tabs pulled up for that one. We'll get heavy on the details, and then we'll just continue to try to figure out what's next as we move deeper into the month of December. My name is Mitch. Good Monday evening. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the video if you like it. And if anybody has anything I can pray about or pray over, please drop it in the comments below. Let's get rocking and rolling tonight. So the ongoing snowstorm is, ongoing. It's snowing across a good chunk of Virginia. The precipitation has intensified, if you will, just like we've been talking about for the last few videos leading up to this event. So we got some heavier moisture being thrown back into this cold air. It's snowing. Even though, there's no snow showing up on this specific radar, it is snowing back here still in like Greensboro. We got snow still flying around in Raleigh, and I'm making this video as around 7 a.m. Eastern time. So, of course, if you're watching this, it's 10, 11 o'clock. It's going to be different. But it's trying to switch some snow, even in the northern areas of the Outer Banks. But, man, a couple jackpot areas I want to mention is, I think it's called Newport News or something like that, north of the Virginia Beach, Norfolk area, Hamptons Road area. We had an intense band of snow set up earlier this afternoon, and we continue to have banding features over this area. And I wouldn't be surprised. We get some reports over a half a foot of snow kind of around that area. But this area of Virginia certainly got theirs this afternoon, continues this evening. Shows some snow as far north as D.C., but I don't think this is hitting the ground. Sometimes this shows a lot of virga, just precipitation that's not actually making it to the surface, a lot of dry air. And we've been talking about this for a while. This secondary area of enhanced snow, and that is definitely verified. It's still snowing down here in Boone and the Banner Elk and area down here. We've picked up, we've overachieved down here. Some areas, I think I saw a report where 10 inches of snow occurred down here near the Boone area. Not over Boone, but some higher elevated regions around Boone. That's crazy, almost a foot of snow, but many areas reporting 6, 7, 8 inches of snow down there, and West Virginia has overachieved for many areas. So let me know what your neck of the woods ended up seeing in the comments. I would love a report. We've had a few tenths of an inch of snow down here in northern areas of North Carolina. I believe Roanoke Rapids is reporting about an inch right now. So let's go on and move past this. Look at a broader view of the entire lower 48, and let's try to get this back in motion here. We got a clipper moving through areas of the upper Midwest, and then we got a chunk of energy that it's hard to see because of the higher terrain and how the radar is affected by that. But there's a lot of energy moving over the northern Rockies right now, including coming out of western Canada, that's going to swing into the same area that this clipper is moving in right now. And it's very cold, so all this winter weather is accumulating pretty easily. So let's go on and speak on this winter storm on the way for areas of the upper Midwest, Great Lakes region, etc. So I do want to mention, we have high impact winds on the way. It's already getting windy out there probably right now. All these areas right here, these are high wind warnings. We got them all just scattered all over the place across the northern plains with a very intense clipper. All these areas that are south of the low are going to get intense winds. So you look at the winter weather side of this, the purple counties here, these are winter storm warnings. The pink counties are winter storm warnings. And the purple areas, these are winter weather advisories. So kind of a bimodal area where they're more confident right here and right here for winter storm warning criteria type snow, which is always different depending on where you live. But I do want to mention, this is kind of a second area of winter storm watches down here that's kind of odd, but I think this area could get some blizzard warnings down here. Once you get into Iowa, Sioux Falls, surrounding areas, you might not get a lot of snow at all. But with the strong winds, a little bit of snow, you could get blizzard warnings in this area. I think as we wake up tomorrow morning, we're going to have some blizzard warnings out here. So we do have winter storm watches up for Wisconsin. These could get upgraded to warnings. In fact, I do think we'll get some warnings in this area. And nothing really as we move into lower Michigan outside of these winter weather advisories, but we're going to get a lot of winter weather alerts across this area too. And we already have winter storm watches up for the Tuck Hill Plateau areas of the Adirondacks ahead of some heavy snow on the way. Let's go over the latest from the HRRR model. And we're going to start this around midnight tonight. If you look right here, it's in Eastern time. So if you're in Central time, back it up an hour. And we're going to put it right there. Let's go on and get this in motion. So we're going to go on and get into, say, daybreak tomorrow. It's around 6 to 7 a.m. We got kind of some heavier bandings of snow moving over Michigan, lower Michigan, the UP. Could get some lake enhancement off this. But this will continue to bring a little bit of snow as far south as northern Indiana. And then we're probably going to get some heavy snowfall across the northern half of Ohio. This is going to move into southern Ontario. But our main storm that I just want to go on and focus in on is this beefy looking clipper right here. I mean, this thing is a 980-ish millibar low. I mean, this thing is packing some heat with it. Actually, it's the opposite, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, it is a strong low pressure. So as we're moving to about, I mean, this is tomorrow afternoon. Okay, snow exits the region from this clipper, and then this one moves in, and we got heavy snowfall moving into northern areas of Minnesota. Maybe a wintry mix in Minneapolis. You're going to switch to all snow. I mean, you're going to be around the dividing line. I mean, southern areas of Minnesota might just be all rain. And then this begins to move into the northern half of Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan. This system, I mean, that's a 983 low based off the HRRR model run. I mean, this is going to produce some heavy snow fall across this area. This isn't just your normal run-of-the-mill kind of just, winter storm. I think that this will catch some people by surprise. I would not be surprised to get some blizzard warnings issued where we have these winter weather advisories, these winter storm watches in place across the upper Midwest. But we continue to move into about tomorrow evening. It's around 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow night. It's snowing pretty good. Looks to be all rain in Chicago. A lot of cold air wrapping behind this. And this is where we could potentially get some blizzard conditions down here in Iowa, southern areas of Minnesota. Might not be a lot of snow, but we could get some very strong winds. This thing deepens to a sub 980 millibar low just north of Green Bay. Look at this on the northern edge of northern sections of Lake Michigan. I mean, this is going to produce some intense snowfall rates where it is snowing. And then let's go on and start to move down here. Okay, this is around 2 o'clock in the morning Wednesday. Look at this heavy snow. Let's back it up a little bit. So we get to about midnight. Look at this heavy snow moving through Detroit, southern areas of Ontario, Cleveland, Erie. Getting even down, it even shows snow flying around in Pittsburgh. And listen, this is going to be some heavy snowfall rates. It's just not going to be a long duration winter weather event. I mean, this is extremely heavy snow, I think, down here. It's just, are you going to be snowing or raining? But you can see this comet head right here, snow, and this continues. And this isn't going to be a huge winter storm by any means for the Northeast, but it is going to produce some heavy snowfall rates. And by the time we get into Wednesday morning, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, it's still snowing back here. Cold air wrapping behind this low pressure, being pulled down quite literally. And we got some lake enhanced stuff across lower Michigan, and then even some rain trying to switch to some snow in Indianapolis Wednesday morning, just making up days here. And then we continue all the way through about midday Wednesday, and it's snowing like crazy across areas of New England and the interior Northeast. But this could be an interesting little feature. Tries to show some rain switching to some snow here in the Berkshires and the Catskills, the Poconos. And I think that is likely to occur. And we could have some snow squalls and just some back edge northwest flow behind this low pressure as it moves throughout eastern Canada. So that's the latest timeline. If we're going over the latest forecast for snow, this is areas of North Dakota and then northwest sections of Minnesota. This is what it's looking like. And then we take a look at a little bit further east in Minnesota. Duluth going for 2 to 7 inches of snow. It's going to be a quick 2 to 7 inches too. We get down to Brainerd, 4 to 6. Walker, 4 to 7 inches. Grand Rapids, 3 to 7. Not as much once you get into the northeastern sections of the state. I do want to see, they're not really calling for much any ice with this system. But if we do drop it down further south in Minnesota, Minneapolis going for around 2 to 5 inches. But if you get just north of town, it's going to be probably all snow, heavy snow. Cambridge, 4 to 6. St. Cloud, 2 to 5. Alexandria, 2 to 5. You drop it down to Rochester, maybe 1 to 2. Now, this is an area that could certainly see a little bit in the way. I knew it was going to do that. A little bit in the way of some ice. What was it? MKX. I think that's what it is. It's not. Okay, that's all right. That's cool. We're going to keep it rolling here. No, we're not, because it's going to tear my nerves up if I don't figure it out. I want to show you the ice graphic. MPX. MPX. That's what it is. Bear with me. We're going to get this right for you. MPX, if it can pull up. Here we go. Here we go. How much ice are we forecasting in this area? I think there could be a few 1/100ths of an inch of ice down here in southern areas of Minnesota. So don't think this is just going to be all snow. I think we'll get a sleet, freezing rain mixture kind of closer to the low pressure where there's a lot more warm air aloft. Now, let's continue. I do want to stop this really quick, and I do want to mention the strong winds before we move fully into the Great Lakes region. Very strong winds. This is the 24-hour max wind gust being forecast by the National Weather Service. I mean, we're talking 50, 60, 65 mile per hour wind gusts. I mean, look down here near the Laramie Range in Wyoming. I mean, 70 to 80, 85 mile per hour wind gust is being forecast. This is a high wind event. I don't feel like it's getting mentioned enough as it should. But the UP of Michigan, a few inches of snow, but this is only between now and about 1 p.m. tomorrow. So it might not be accounting for the entirety of the system, but a few inches of snow is on the way just between now and about, oh man, this graphic is old. We got to get a new graphic. Here we go. Better graphic here. Much, much better graphic. All right, here. So this is between now. Didn't want to leave my family up here in the UP of Michigan hanging. I know I got a lot of loyal watchers from this region, but this is how much snow is forecasting in the National Weather Service between now and about 7 p.m. Thursday. And then we drop it down here into, let's update this. I think we got some new graphics. No, we don't. This is the Green Bay area and surrounding areas. There's a lot of town names I don't know how to pronounce, but mountain, that's easy enough. 4 to 5 inches of snow. And then we drop it down here into southern areas of Wisconsin. 1 to 2 inches of snow is being forecast in Milwaukee. Just a few inches, but there's some wide varieties once you get up here. 1 to 5, 2 to 6, 2 to 8 in Berlin. So definitely a bigger range. This is a tricky area too. Once you get near Eau Claire, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Madison, a trace to 2 inches, but we could get some ice. A few 1/100ths of an inch of ice is possible in this event in this area. And then we drop it down to northern sections of Illinois. Not a lot of snow in this area. Could get some freezing rain, a little bit of sleet, but 1/2 inch totals. It's just not going to be a big event for you guys in this region. A few 1/100ths of an inch of ice. Somebody could sneak around and get about 1/10 of an inch. So, and then we move it into lower Michigan, Flint. 3 to 4, 1 to 2 inches of snow in Detroit. Big Rapids, 4 to 6. Grand Rapids, 2 inches. And then we move it a little bit further north in northern areas of lower Michigan and the eastern UP. Several inches of snow is on the way up here. Traverse City, 3 to 7. Gaylord, 3 to 8. So Newberry, 4 to 7. And then we drop it down into northern areas of Indiana. A few inches of snow is in the forecast. South Bend, 1 to 4. And then northern areas of Ohio, kind of a tricky area also. 1/2 inch, 2, 3, 4 inches here and there. Chardon, a little elevated area, I believe. I believe this is an elevated area right here, kind of east. Just let me know if you're tuning in from Ohio. I know there is some, I wouldn't say mountain ranges or anything like that, but there's some higher terrain kind of in this region right here, which always throws me off how there's like an extension of the Appalachian Mountains into this region. But Chardon going for 7 inches of snow. Erie, 4 inches, but you get just south away from the lake. Edenboro, 8 inches of snow, so a good bit here. And then we drop it down to Pittsburgh. They're already forecasting a little bit of snow into areas of West Virginia too, which I forgot. I didn't even pull up a graphic for this region, but a few inches of snow's possible in West Virginia also from this. But Pittsburgh, about 1/2 inch. And then we look at PA. This is what you're looking at. It's really going to be for the northwestern areas of the state. And then we look at the Buffalo up to the Tug Hill Plateau area. It's always weird how it extends all the way up into here for the National Weather Service out of Buffalo. But Buffalo, about 4 inches of snow. You get south into these southern towns, or south towns is what y'all call it. A few to several inches of snow. 500 feet makes a huge difference in this setup. 1/2 foot to maybe as much as 10 inches of snow is possible in these areas. Tug Hill Plateau going to get theirs. Over 1 foot of snow is forecast in some of those areas. And then this is the southern tier of New York, areas of northeast PA. Binghamton, about 1 inch, 1.5 inches. So Boonville, about 1 foot being forecast. Syracuse, about 1 inch or 2. The rest of central New York, this is what you're looking at. Southern areas of Vermont, several inches of snow. It all depends on elevation. Pittsfield, Berkshire's, a few to several inches of snow is possible. It's an elevation-driven thing for sure. This is the rest of the Adirondacks in Vermont. More snow's on the way for you, Robin, down here near Brattleboro. And this is the rest of New Hampshire, areas of Maine. And then this is the down east areas of Maine and northern areas of the states. So not a huge event by you guys' standards, but did want to make sure I covered everybody. So what's next? So this trough's digging down as we're getting into midweek. You can see it here, and I don't have anything that I can draw on, so I'm gonna have to pull this up on the fly. I always hate having to do this, but really thought about not even making a video tonight, but I was like, let's roll with it. And so if you notice, I don't have as good as flow tonight as I normally do. Got a lot to do, got to pack for this vacation coming up in a couple days, and so kind of having to rush this a little bit. But we're starting this off Wednesday evening. You got this trough digging over the eastern U.S. This is bringing down cold air with it, and we got Clipper energy with it, which is the storm system we just discussed. You got this low pressure kind of swinging through. And yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, this is going to bring some cold air behind it. So what comes in after this? You see this area of blue right here? This is a piece of the polar vortex going to try to drop down. We got a ridge flexing here, so this is going to slide down this way. How far south does this dig? Does it dig like that, or is it going to dig kind of like this? Let's get this on motion on the Euro ensemble. Comes down, and it does not dig very far at all. It's kind of just a zonal look, meaning it's just not digging vertical a whole lot. But this is still going to slide in a lot of cold air down into this way, down to the eastern U.S. It's just how far south does it dig? We have this kind of broad, weird-looking ridge right here. And this is going to create probably a very tight temperature boundary right in here between cold Arctic air and just average to warmer than average air. But, we do have solid cross-polar flow. I mean, a lot of Arctic air dropping down with this trough digging in, but it's just not digging in very far south. So this is going to continue to bring like a very similar pattern with a lot of dominant northern stream energy. And it continues to look to part all the way through about a week out. And we might have a little nudge of this trough as we get into the end of this coming weekend. And this is going to bring, it's just a quick reminder, just because you got these kind of warmer looking colors, the yellows and the oranges, doesn't mean you necessarily have below average temperatures at the surface. This is the upper pattern, okay? So this doesn't always tell us temperatures, like just because, for example, say if you live in Georgia and you got the yellow over you, that don't mean you have above average temperatures. There's a lot of things that go up under all these colors, if that makes sense. And here's an example of that. If you look at below average temperatures, you can see this first trough dig that's going to be responsible for bringing that winter storm that we just talked about, brings a shot of cold air as we're entering towards the end of this work week. You see the blues and the greens below average temperatures. We continue to move forward, a little bit of a moderation. We get into Friday. You can see a brief warm up here as we're getting into Friday afternoon. Now, are we talking about across the deep south like a torch? No. But then you can see Barney showing up on your screen. Look at this intense temperature gradient right here across the northern Rockies and Montana. I mean, this is insane how Arctic air is so shallow that it actually cannot break loose deep into the Rockies because of the higher terrain of the mountain range. That plays a big part of this. So this cold Arctic air slides down, for example, the western areas of Montana well above average temperatures. The eastern areas of Montana is in an Arctic air mass, and we continue to move forward. And as you can tell, just like what we just showed you with this very zonal trough dig, you see how kind of just flattened out it is right here? Sure enough, the very cold temperatures are flattened out. Now, as we start to move towards the end of the weekend to early next week, the Arctic air finally does ooze into the eastern U.S., and we're going to have another period of below average temperatures. But what about storm systems? As we move past this Clipper, it's going to bring an all-out winter storm over the next 48 hours that we just broke down. What happens next? Well, we get into Thursday, another area of northern stream energy dives down across the Dakotas, and this is probably going to bring some moderate snow across areas that has been seeing snow. Okay, this will swing in, and we got kind of this next area right here as we're getting into Saturday to bring some snow across the northern states. And, I mean, that's about it. And sure enough, between now and the next week or so, looks like all the snow is going to be for the northern areas of the country. I mean, the northern plains, the upper Midwest, north central U.S., Midwest, just going to snow where it's been snowing. Nothing crazy. Now, we move to the eastern U.S. I do want to mention, and I hope this happens, I really do. Because, about 3-4 days ago, it was really looking very cold and wintry for my vacation to Gatlinburg, and it's really trended away. So I think my only hope personally is that maybe a little bit of snow flies around when we get there late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. But I do want to start this off Wednesday night. There is enough energy that dives down into the mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina to deliver what could be a northwest flow event, a snow event. Now, the further north you get in West Virginia and western, southwestern areas of Virginia, the better these chances are. And you can see how, we got some snow hanging around the wee hours of the morning, Thursday morning, across the southern Appalachian Mountains. And, this is interesting to me, too, is, it's picking up some flurries. I think short-range model is going to come in and show this a lot better, but even show some snow flurries all the way down to Alabama. We'll watch for that. And then what happens in the Friday, model guidance really likes the idea of this. Kind of just some energy coming in from the northern stream. Shows a band of light to moderate snow kind of moving across Friday, across the Midwest, Indiana, Illinois, down to even northern areas of Kentucky, West Virginia, maybe even Virginia, areas of Ohio. Okay. Hopefully this could trend further south for my personal reasons, because I'll be in the mountains of Tennessee. But then this moves north. This will bring some more snow across the northeast. Here comes another system. There's a teasing connection of some southern stream and northern stream right here. You can see some green down here, some blue up here. Can these connect? Produce the potential for a more moderate winter storm? I know New York City, Philadelphia, you guys have just been getting robbed the last couple winters. Could this bring some light to moderate snow across your area, across the I-95 corridor towards the end of the weekend? Absolutely. We just have to watch it, and then after that, who knows what happens. And if we look at the Euro ensemble, just remember this is for what's going on right now, but we extend this all the way through about the next week, about this time next week. And you can see how it's just the rich get richer kind of pattern. The people who have been getting snow are going to continue to get snow. And then we just look at the pattern of what's coming up next. Okay. We start off about a week from today. You can see a big broad ridge setting up over the lower 48. All of our cold air shoved up to the higher latitudes. You can see some troughing still hanging out with us across areas of Atlantic Canada, keeping us cold in the northeast. And, this will continue to bring some cold air probably down. A lot of cold air damming days, but all the way down to the eastern U.S. But we do got a ridge kind of beginning to build. How long does this last? And the big question is are we going to trend this away as we get closer to this time frame? That has been the trend, is to trend warm-ups in the long range to cool downs once they get into the medium range. That has been the trend. So is it going to be the trend with this one? Well, you can already see another dip in the jet showing up. And you see the blues down here? This tells me that the southern stream is going to try to get a little bit more active as we start to move into late next week. But you can see there's a dip in the jet here, kind of breaks the ridge wide open here. Can something happen in that time frame? Maybe. I'll be honest, as we move to the end of the run, that is an ugly look for winter weather fans. You got just a straight zonal look. It is cold in Canada, and once you get into the southern areas of the lower 48, it is warm. What's the chances of this actually happening? We got to figure that one out. But, that time frame I mentioned, I made a post on Twitter about this. I think we got to watch the 17th, 18th, 19th. I'm going to take a shot here. There's a little signal here for some connection of energy between the southern and northern stream. I'm not going to say we're going to get a significant storm system, but there is a risk for a more high-impact winter storm. Not necessarily a winter storm, but a storm system. So we'll watch that. That's all I got, guys. I'm going to head off. I'm tired. I'm worn out. But hope you guys enjoy that snow event that you're getting tonight. Look at this. This is beautiful. I'd say a childhood dream of mine is to get something like this, but I live down here. And I've always had this childhood dream of getting some sort of rare snowstorm in the days and weeks leading up to Christmas. Of course, everybody wants the snowstorm on Christmas Eve. That would be, just awesome. But I've always thought it'd be cool to get a couple inches of snow, even just the days, just somewhere in December leading up to Christmas. And you're getting to experience that in northern areas of North Carolina, points north. So enjoy it. And, everybody's saying you can't say that it's not a nice December to remember in this area. Virginia has been the golden state for snow in the eastern U.S. so far. So that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless all y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night. We'll do it again tomorrow morning, hopefully with no audio issues. God bless.